my end here is starting to look like a race car.
They're pretty racy looking shocks, aren't they?
I like them.
Hi guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and I've got Lewis Sola with me again as we do episode 4 of the Tamiya Top Force build.
You're here from Hearns Hobbies. I'm here at Hearns Hobbies.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
we're building a Top Force.
Sola Edition. Not just any Top Force Evo. And have a look at the moustache on it.
Alright, it's pretty good, isn't it? Time for yours to come off, mate.
Nah, this front shock tower, straight in the bin.
Alright,
Lewis does it better.
Where are we up to? We're up to building some shocks.
Step 27. That's going to dampen the mood, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's go. Let's have a look what we've got.
The Tamiya High Cap.
What can you tell me about these shocks? I want some juicy guys.
The ones from back in the day weren't very good.
Yeah.
And I can see,
substitute,
looking at the instructions, that they've made some revisions. So let's move this gearbox out.
Do you know what I like about these 90s cars? And I still yearn for it. Fluoro springs.
Yeah. Nah.
That was cool.
Yeah, but that was only
cool.
Lossy that had that.
Really?
Fluoro
Yeah,
springs.
but they were just
and
cool.
So these springs are different to what used to come with the original Evolution. The
Let's
Evolution
have a
had
look.
square springs.
What?
Square springs.
What? Square section.
Square section.
But the spring itself wasn't square.
No, yeah, the square section. So that instead of being round, it was actually square. I can't remember if that was an option. I think it may have been an option, the square spring.
Really?
Yeah.
Have a look at these shocks though. These are actually really nice. Wow.
Yeah, completely different. This is like a screw-in cartridge down the bottom, where the old ones, I'm pretty sure, had a circlip. But I could be wrong. It's been a while.
Been a few years, you reckon?
Yeah, just a couple.
Nice little bleeder thing. These are actually really nice.
Yeah, they look good, don't they?
All right, let's go. Well, these are going to be new. This is going to be new to me.
Yep.
So, what have we got here? Rustling plastic.
I'll tell you what you got here that we're not going to be using.
No.
Is a Tamiya soft damper oil.
No good?
No.
What do you like most about it? I like to cook my steak in it. Olive oil front, canola oil rear shocks.
I don't think it's silicon based, but I could be wrong.
I like to go with an oil that I know, and that's this Axon one. And we'll go 30 weight, because it's middle of the road. At least you know what's in there.
Yeah.
So
good starting point, 30 weight.
If you need to go up or down, we'll put it front. We'll put it in front and rear. Oh, more E-clips, Lewis.
Yeah, your favourite.
Hey?
You love it.
I'm super excited for these E-clips.
Yeah.
We're sort of spoiled. The modern shocks on most of the cars now, they all have a screw retainer for the piston.
Yeah. Obviously, for the forces that get put onto the actual shocks.
They do
Again, you know, these cars weren't really designed for 50-foot jumps.
We got the same length.
The same length shafts, front and rear. Yeah.
All right.
I just noticed that, and I was just about to look at the bodies.
Is the bodies the same?
Possibly.
Let's have a look at this one.
There you go. Same length bodies, front and rear.
How cool is that? That is
Different.
unique. That is almost like 89 RC10. No?
That's like a 92 Tamiya Top Force. Okay, quick look. Piston, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead here and start assembling the shocks. Same piston front and rear. I can only assume they're young Lewis. Where are the pistons?
Actually, they don't even make a real mention of the pistons, but we shall find them.
Where are they? Are they a parts tree piston? Are they a machine Delrin?
Parts tree, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's always nice when they're a machine piston, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of cars have them even as an optional extra. Machine pistons.
Okay, we have a 2, 3 and 4 hole piston.
Oh,
which is pretty good.
We got different ones.
Yep.
So what, we'll go
and again,
2 hole front, 3 hole rear.
We're talking about different sprues with different plastic. Yep. Much softer this one.
Well, the last thing you want is a piston that's too stiff.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm just making it up.
Well, I reckon we go the middle of the road, we go with a 3 hole.
What, all round? Front and rear?
Yep.
You're a madman.
No.
No? It's going to steer, that's for sure.
So that. You're going to need one
Gone
of these,
quiet, 'cause
one of
we're-
these.
we
Going
are-
quiet because I'm concentrating on cutting these things off nicely.
Have you got one for me?
Shock cut.
Is this for me?
You're just going to just check that, make sure it's got no little raised edges on it.
No, it does definitely
Done
have
as well
some.
as I could. And there's a big spacer here. I wonder if perhaps the front shocks use a spacer.
Internal spacer.
Yeah. To limit down trouble. There you go. It's a white. What do they call it? Yeah, they do.
Yeah?
There you go. So that's how they vary the front shock length with a big spacer on the inside of it.
I'm really concentrating here. Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was good, that one. 3 hole. 3 hole.
Yep.
So, we're not going to be sending this to any skate parks, I take
I
it.
mean, you could.
We're not, though. It's going to be supple.
But it's not what it was really designed for, is it?
Well, it's a thoroughbred race machine.
It was a thoroughbred race machine.
Well, you've just made it better now. No?
Yeah.
You've given it a moustache.
Yeah.
Everything's better with a moustache.
Yeah.
Even me. Here you go. That can be the front ones with little spaces in them. Have I got some more pistons? Have I lost
Yep.
them?
No, they're coming.
Got a bit of rubber grease over there too. I don't know about you, but I like to really...
Rubber grease on the O-rings is a good thing.
I really like to build my cartridges with a lot of rubber grease.
And do you know why they use rubber grease?
My understanding, and I'm happy to be corrected, is to actually protect the seals, the O-ring, the rubber, from the silicon oil.
Yeah.
Because the
It's
silicon
weird,
oil
isn't it?
and the silicon content of
Makes
the
them
O-ring
swell.
makes them swell. So you're protecting them. So if you haven't got yourself any O-ring or rubber lube, do yourself a favour. And I know that...
Because what happens ultimately is that the O-ring swelling actually drags on the shaft. So then you'll have, for example, say you have 20 weight oil in it, it'll feel like 25 or 30.
won't be a consistent feel.
Not consistent.
Third go is a charm. Third go is a charm.
Okay, so
Have I got
there's
one
the
more
other
piston
piston
over
for you.
Black pistons. How cool are coloured pistons? Does
Well, they're easy to tell.
do they still do colour pistons on
No.
those on your race cars?
Mm.
No.
No.
They're giving up
You
on all
need
things like
X-ray
that.
vision, and you need a
Magnifying glass.
magnifying glass nowadays to see the actual inscription that's on the piston and know
And they
what
have-
it is that you're actually using.
They have different hole sizes and thickness in your car. Yep.
Alrighty, so what have we got here?
We have got the... Can I please have some... I'm just going to reach over you there.
An ME4 and an ME7,
Do the old Todman reach around.
a shaft guide. Okay,
So what?
so what these guys do is this: they go into the shock body,
Yep.
then they load it from the outside. So they go a shaft
that-
guide.
Shaft guide.
Yep.
Give us one.
Then we're going to put some
So
grip.
I'm leaving you with the front ones.
Right. So then we're going to use some grease.
Shaft. So we're using a
White.
white one. Yep.
Yep.
It's a nice Delrin machine.
Then we're going to use a O-ring.
Then an O-ring. Well, Nan's going to be upset. Her favourite hanky. Then we've got an O-ring.
With some of that blue.
Blue spooge.
Yep.
You have to put that over the thread. Then what have we got? Okay, I've got one O-ring.
Yep.
Then what have we got?
Cartridge.
What's these black O-ring things? They go on the top, do they? Cartridge, yep.
What is that?
Oh, hang on, that can't be right. Is that right?
Red on the inside, red on the outside.
And a red on the outside.
Not unless. That's definitely like a little rubber. Oh, you know what it'll be for? Yeah.
Uh-huh. And there's a rubber O-ring out here.
Yeah.
Like a up limiting.
See, it's a rubber bushing for the top of the shock.
Yeah, so there's only one O-ring sealed inside.
O-ring, yes.
Well, to me, would know.
So.
And I'm usually going to start this, it's such a fine thread, I'm actually going to go back until it clicks, because it looks like a very fine thread, and you don't want to be...
That's because you're hand-fisted.
And I'm not going to be preloading that yet. Going to wait till it's assembled.
How does that feel?
You can hear the machining in the
inside the shock body.
Yeah?
Yep.
Very well machined.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Pinch one of them on the outside. I don't know why. I've never been understood why they use one on the outside.
Well, it can only be an up limiter, no?
Oh, yeah, but
is
it going to make a difference?
I usually have them on my cars. Especially on the four-wheel drives that I'm running at the moment, otherwise it just smacks. I don't know about your one. Smacks in the chassis into the...
If you're smacking then your oil's not right.
Yeah, well, I'm flat landing when I shouldn't be, is the other problem. So cartridge O-ring. That's it. And another O-ring.
Pretty much it. And it's funny because the original car had 2 O-rings.
Yeah? Inside the cartridge?
Yeah. And I'll find something for you that's going to be interesting. It's actually in that original write-up that I did of the car back in 1992, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Got some shock ends there. Oop.
Pinch one of these. I actually took one of the O-rings out of the shocks to make them smoother.
Yeah?
And it's funny how 30 years later now they're making the shocks with one O-ring.
Go figure.
Go figure. Maybe I was onto something.
Ahead of the time. Is that what we can say?
Say whatever you want to say.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying that you're probably ahead of your time. Do we have overall shock rings to go off?
They shouldn't have.
I've got some verniers. Is there an overall shock length?
Nope.
Well.
Oh yeah. There you go. No, they don't.
No?
No, they don't.
Oh, I like to do it, that way I know left and right's the same.
Yeah.
I know front and rear's going to be the...
And you got those funky pliers.
Well, now put the vernier on the inside to inside, all the way up. I'm going to go for 30mm. So I've got to spring it in another half a mil.
Pinch another O-ring.
Half a mil should be hopefully about one turn. Let's try again. Perfect. 30mm on that rear one.
To front.
I could have got the front and rears mixed up now.
You can't get it wrong now, you just pull them out.
Preload the cartridge. Oh, that's too much. Here we go, 30mm on this one. Bit tight. Tight like a tiger. Come back a little bit. Here we go, 30mm. What have we got on the front ones? Ooh, you haven't got as much preload as me. Nice. What do you reckon the front one's going to measure at? The rear one's 30.
20.
Yep, 20. Exactly 20. 10 mil difference. I cut you off then, didn't I?
Not bad, eh?
What's this
Imagine
one?
if I had my glasses on.
Let's see how you got left and right. Not bad. Not bad at all.
How far?
Oh, maybe half a turn. Bleeding shocks. It's good. I'm calling it. Shocks are measured. What are we looking at now?
Alright, so there's two things. The next step is to attach the shocks to the shock tower. But obviously before we do that we need to put some oil in them. They're saying here that the yellow soft set is 400.
Is it?
That's what they're saying.
Alright.
400. So let's go a little bit lighter. Lighter won't hurt.
We got 30 weight there.
30 weight. So
Bit of
30
axon.
weight. Yep.
Front and rear 3-hole. Got my little shock stand over here.
Yep.
I'll put this here out of the way. Because we'll probably do some assembly, won't we? Get it up here while it's bleeding. Now when I do shocks, I like to make sure that the piston's not all the way at the bottom when I'm filling it. That way hopefully I can raise the air all up as one big bubble. Bubble trap. Oh look, there you go. That was a good one. Last thing you want is champagne shocks. Be there for hours trying to bleed that sucker. One.
Yeah, right. What a really intricate setup. Sorry, intricate setup on the way that they attach the shock to the.
They've really spent a lot of time machining that,
over
haven't
the
they?
top. Yeah, just
It's like
so it's
piece of art.
there's a washer. There's a bevel washer. No? It's a step washer machined. That then has a little rubber O-ring, which goes onto it. It's really hard, like that. And then that sits on top of a spacer which goes through the like this onto the shock.
It's a piece of art.
It's pretty full on, isn't it? Yeah.
They've done their homework there, or maybe they haven't. Do you think they were just going through the parts bin?
Hard to say.
Because typically we like those things to be quite straightforward and easy, don't we?
Yeah.
When we're changing shocks
Yeah.
of the truck or
So
whatever.
you don't lose stuff.
Don't know quite, because
I'm counting.
I'm bleeding. Eh? Counting down the time.
I'm missing one of these black.
Black Hobbies.
Ah, of
There you
course.
go.
Yep.
Of course. What do you mean, of course? There you go. Just here, mate. And hopefully by the time that...
So these have got a volume compensating diaphragm in these shocks, which
That's a
doesn't
mouthful.
it is a little bit, isn't it?
Huh?
It doesn't get used very much these days. A lot of them now are just emulsion shock.
I absolutely love bladder shocks.
You're alright. There's a little bit of a trick to building them so they're right. The on-road cars still use bladder shocks, and they always work with no rebound, which is something that sometimes you can use in off-road rebound.
It's hard to tune into a car though, isn't it? Because
Exactly.
you don't know how much stiction, if it's going to change during the run. Usually you'll get rebound when the temperature changes during the day, don't you? And you have to bleed your shocks.
Let the air out of them. That's why the idea of the volume compensating, but it doesn't always work quite like that. So what I like to do
Yep.
is this.
Go on. So you got front ones there, mate.
Right, so we'll move that to almost the top of its treble.
Yep.
This gets a bit messy, so have you got like a 3mm driver or something that's fairly blunt? Yep. Then I like to just sit the diaphragm on top and let it fall on its own weight. You can see the oil starting to just trickle out of the side here.
Yep.
You then very gently push down on the diaphragm to let that last little bit of excess oil out. So that's actually gotten rid of all the air that's inside the area where the diaphragm's now gone into the shock body.
And you do that all the way compressed?
Yep.
Really? There you go, folks.
And then you can slip down the...
Slip down?
Yeah. And hopefully, if I've done this right, you'll have absolute minimal rebound. Pull it out, push it in. See that?
Now I'll show you how I do mine. And it's good to have a point of difference. So I do mine all the way out. Again, drop, I usually slide it in so no air gets in. I'll hold my little finger down on top. I'll compress it down, bleeding all the excess oil out until I can feel the piston clip hit my finger.
What if you haven't got nails?
Huh? I've got no nails. What are you talking about?
Yep.
And then let's see what we can do. I've got Nan's favourite tea towel. Let's see who shocks better. I've got a feeling your one is. Because my one popped up a little bit then. I wasn't happy. My diaphragm. How stiff are the diaphragms in these? Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Now we're looking for no rebound and no air.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Half a mil. Whoops!
I have more rebound than Harlem Globetrotters. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
So then I'm going to unwind it while it's compressed until I get a little bit of air out like so and go again. Meanwhile, Lewis's one's all done. Second time. Oh!
Whoa, see?
Sometimes.
That feels pretty good. Bless you.
You right, Nan? Hello. Pump it up. Give it a good old.
Wow.
More rebound. See, that's how you do it. Right. I'm going to do it a little Sola way. I'm going to take that one right out.
Try it.
I'm going to.
See if it makes any difference.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. How many have you done now, Lewis?
I've just done the one. Try it like on one of the rears.
I'm going to get this one up.
Just short of being all the way out.
Not got enough oil.
Maybe.
I reckon it's not good enough. And shocks are like that. You know, they take a few times.
It's worth. Sometimes it's worth the.
Everybody's got their knack.
Sometimes it's worth the trouble of having to do it twice just to get them right.
Especially if you're going to use this thing on track and anger. Okay, I'll get this one threaded up. You can see the oil and the air coming out, which is good. You know what? This one's not going to rust.
No.
It's got a bit of oil on it. Calling it done, mate.
Happy with that?
Calling it done. So that is in fact how you do tamiya shocks.
That's how you build zero rebound. And we're not going to get into the details about rebound, but
Oh, come on.
yeah, no. Maybe on another episode.
Do you know who'd love to talk about that?
Go on.
Defina.
The rebound?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
No?
I thought he was more of a stiction.
Stiction kind of guy?
Yeah.
Don't get him started on com drops. Hey?
Fanta. Fanta is a secret.
I'm going to use that from now on.
Yeah, you should actually do a Friday night session with Defina about running in Mabuchi motors on Fanta.
What we need is a dyno before and after Fanta. And you know who's got one, don't you?
Chef Defina. Can I have the Phillips head, please?
Certainly can. Where is it?
Yeah.
No.
I found it.
Just use that one till I find the other one.
Okay.
How's it looking, mate? Don't go quiet on me.
It's actually my end here is starting to look like a race car.
Is it?
Yeah.
They're pretty racy looking shocks, aren't they?
I like them.
I'm not overly...
And they've got a fairly big ball by vintage standards.
These shocks.
Yeah.
I just can't help but wish they had the TRF threaded bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
No? I know that Tamiya do make some fine shocks, don't they?
Yeah, they did. Your little pliers, the fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You like these ones?
Yeah. These 9 steps?
They're JPRC actually, those ones. We need to...
You know what we've done here?
What have we done?
We've got the wrong shock ends on.
Don't tell me there's 2 kinds of shock ends.
Yeah, we have.
Is there?
Yeah, there must be. I think we just got a little bit too carried away.
We could have. Too excited, you could say.
Yeah.
I was absolutely blinded by the moustache.
There's a missing bag here that we haven't gotten into yet.
We haven't harnessed?
Yeah, because they're not using the screw, they're actually using shims. And there's actually a spring guide, see?
Ah, N. So N's part tree.
Yeah.
N's part tree. Have you got that? There it is. Ah, it's making sense now.
You see?
Now look what I've done.
I guess you can look at this as a plus too, because you got more stuff. Like you got here's your example. You've got a different shock collet. You got a different way of moving the spring up and down.
So what you're saying is that you can have shims.
You can put a screw in that and have that as an adjuster.
A spring retainer.
Yeah, a spring retainer. Or you can have
the old
shims.
C-clips.
Yeah, C-clips. And then these
Which one do you like?
Well, the C-clips are a little bit more... It's harder to get a more accurate... So you got the same thickness on both sides. Whereas the other one gives you infinite adjustment, so you can... You know, one side needs to be up a little bit higher than the other for whatever reason. You can adjust it that way. Yeah, wow.
Made an absolutely mess of this shock, I'm afraid.
Yeah. And I made a mess of the shock ends, so we're going well. That's why sometimes it pays to read the instructions. Generally I don't, but being a re-release,
things can be a little bit different. And that said, you probably didn't, let's be honest, you probably didn't run tamiya shocks on yours anyway.
I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, I stand corrected. I've got a whole, this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. A whole load of air in my shock. And there's no substitute for that. So we're going to cut new shock ends.
Yeah.
And remeasure the shocks.
Yeah.
Oh, grey parts.
Yeah.
They look factory fast. No?
Grey is factory.
Carbon.
Yeah.
Can we call it carbon?
Look at these. These are pretty cool.
I want to call them carbon. Ooh.
So the question is, what are they actually fitting into the... X5 into X1.
Oh yeah, I like that.
X5.
That would be awesome at the
Smaller
top.
diameter.
I like it. Do you like it?
I like it. I like it more when it's done.
I like getting it done. I also really like getting shocks right.
When it's done right.
Yeah. Well, I want the person who gets this car to be in awe
Of the build quality.
and the performance that it offers. I'd like to call it biblical, but I don't know that could be a stretch. Maybe robust.
Robust.
Robust performance.
Impressive.
Impressive by numbers. 540 is one of them.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got my air out. I've got my cap in.
I got the right shock ends on.
You got the right shock ends on. It's looking good. Got a little clip here for the thread.
You're going to pass me the verniers once you're done there?
Yep. I definitely can. Now they're very, I don't know about you, but my verniers, they're the old mechanical type. Because
Well, once upon a time I was big on those, but
in my pit
as
box,
my eyesight has dwindled over the years, I find that the digital ones are a lot easier for me to use accurately.
I tend to agree. But in my race box, I always end up with flat verniers. And they were no fun. Maybe because I don't use them as much as I once did.
Go on. Cast your young eyes on them.
Alright. Hang on, I'm in a world of hurt with this, with shock absorber number 4, sorry. I just cannot get this one right. And I've followed your instructions step by step. I'm trying to use my judgment and my feel, but it's just off.
It's pretty good. Pretty good even if I say.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So what shock ends are we going for?
Okay.
Because we've completely made a mess as far as the shock ends go. Are those ones over there?
These grey ones, yep.
I like them, I'm happier that they're going on. These
they look better too.
They got the essence of speed. Oh, it's a firmer plastic too. And I'm happier that they go on to cover all the threads up.
Yeah, so they're using, the original kit had these
Yeah.
long guys, but these guys, they're actually using the ones out of this parts sprue.
We can go 29 because that way we've actually got more suspension trouble because our eyelet's longer. $29 on the money.
Good.
Are you excited?
Yep.
I get the feeling that you've all gone quiet. No?
Yeah,
You're just in the zone?
it's testing.
Is it?
testing, yeah.
Well, it can only make you stronger, Lewis.
Okay. So we're going to use the,
What balls are you putting in?
these are the plastic grey ones. Middle. So that one there.
Can I have some spring? Are these ones for me?
Yep, so if you look, there's two different size ones. You
Yeah.
want the bigger ones out of the two.
Bigger ones?
Yep.
Definitely got bigger ones. Alright. And by bigger you meant in diameter,
Bigger diameter, yeah.
not thicker.
No.
I clearly have put the wrong ones on. I meant the wrong way bigger. Yeah?
Yep.
What are you know?
3. So it's this guy.
Here we go. These ones are on. Now what have we got for... Are these the same?
Yep, so
They're the ones?
they're slightly different to the ones that are on the front. They're like a low profile version.
Yep. And we're going to put these ones on too? No?
Yep. No, not them. So they're the extras that come with it. But this is like, the original kit had these on it.
Ah. I don't feel that these fit the spring properly at all.
They're a little loose, but yeah.
Loosey goosey. Loose is fast.
No,
Maybe
it
not
doesn't
that
look
fast.
right, does it?
Doesn't look right. There must be another part.
X7. Must be another one of these grey. Yes, sir.
Yes, there is.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Rebarb. So many spares. So if we ever go down to 12mm shocks, we've got the collars there as well. Oh yeah, that is. I'm not saying that that is a good feeling shock, but that
Is it a good chop?
It's a good feeling shock. I'm pretty happy with that.
And they're starting with one of them.
Chuffed.
Well chuffed.
Oh. And did you put the balls in the bottom?
That's the general idea, yes.
Grey balls in the bottom.
Yep. Now, got a little issue here.
What's the issue?
That I've got one shock that's much longer than the other. But it could be an optical illusion, which I think it was.
Could be because you got the mustachio going on full flight.
Yes.
Is that what you reckon?
Yeah, I don't have tension on the spring, so yeah, that's what it is.
There's tension in this room.
Ah, yes.
Huh?
I see now.
What can you tell me? Fill me in. I'm just checking the overall length. Perfect. Are we happy?
I think so.
Give it a wobble. It's looking good. Alright, now, meanwhile, on Planet Brett,
Look at that.
is it good? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
Marvellous.
Alright, now you can, what have I got here? I got a shock.
Right, so you need
What do I need?
the ball and a screw.
Screw. Are we going,
Can only go in one way.
we're going to go like this?
No,
Which hole?
no. So it goes this way, right? Then you got to put this bad boy on. Then one of these. Then in through there.
Yep. And then a nut.
One of them on.
Like a little beautiful precision sandwich.
It's pretty cool.
No?
I think so. Yeah.
It actually feels a lot smoother than I thought it would. Quality engineering.
There's your nut.
Here we go. These shocks coming together. Is it time to put the chassis on yet?
I reckon that'll be the next step.
I reckon once we get these shocks attached, I reckon we'll call this episode. And move towards the last episode.
Chassis
marrying
assembly.
the chassis and bringing it all together. Hey?
Sounds good.
What are we going to do here for these bottom shock mounts? Into the arm. We're having these ones. Which hole do you want to go? Middle hole, middle hole, middle hole?
Middle hole, but it should have a 3mm spacer.
3mm spacer. Is a metal?
Yeah.
It's metal?
MA5.
MA5. Got a spanner stuck to the motor. That's a good start.
No. All right. Well, while we look for this MA5, I reckon we'll just wrap this episode.
We'll wrap
up.
this episode up. We'll call it done. Show us the moustache in all its glory.
Once more
Yeah, go on.
on the overhead.
Yeah. Look at it wiggle. Yeah. How cool is that? Such a cool idea. It's monoshock without being a monoshock.
That's right. So still have that movement, but then it also gets. So literally, it's like having really long shocks on the front.
Yeah. Fantastic. Alright guys, that is episode 4. We've just done some shocks and got them mounted up. I'm Brett from Hearns and this is Lewis Sola.
At Hearns.
And thanks for watching us build the Tamiya Top Force Evo Lewis Sola Tribute.
Tribulate.
Thanks
See ya.
guys.